I was zooming in on our family Christmas card to check if my daughter was blinking, but I ended up seeing a reflection in a silver ornament that ended my marriage of 10 years. My name is Claire, and I always believed I had the gold standard marriage. My husband, Mark, is a high-level corporate attorney, the kind of man who wears $3,000 suits and speaks with a calm, calculated authority that makes everyone in the room lean in. He works long hours, travels frequently for high-stakes depositions, but he always made it home for the big moments. Or so I thought. For our 10th anniversary, which falls right in the middle of the holiday season, I decided to go all out. I hired a world-class photographer to do a legacy session at our estate. We were dressed in matching velvet, deep emerald for me and the kids, charcoal gray for Mark. The house was a masterpiece of holiday decor. The 12-foot Nordmann fir was draped in heirloom silver ornaments. The fire was roaring in the hearth, and the air smelled like expensive cedar and spiced cider. Everything looked perfect. In the lens of the camera, we were the American dream. Mark was the picture of a doting father, his arm draped protectively around my shoulder, his other hand resting gently on our son's head. He looked into the camera with that signature, honest smile that had won him dozens of cases. But as I sat at my laptop 3 days later, scrolling through the high-resolution proofs, I felt a strange, cold prickle at the base of my skull. It was a 45-megapixel raw image, so clear you could see the individual pores on our skin. I zoomed in on one specific shot of us by the grand tree. I wasn't looking for a scandal. I was looking at the way the light hit my hair. But my eyes drifted to a large, mirrored silver bauble hanging right behind Mark's shoulder. Because the ornament was spherical, it acted like a wide-angle security mirror. And there, reflected in the distorted silver surface, I saw Mark's hidden hand. He wasn't just resting it on the back of the mahogany chair. He was holding his phone low, behind his back, shielded from the photographer's direct view. And on that phone screen, illuminated in the reflection with haunting clarity, was a notification from a woman named Sophie. It said, "I can't wait for our private Christmas in Aspen. Counting down the hours until you leave that Ice Queen." The room seemed to tilt on its axis. I felt my pulse drumming in my ears, a thick, heavy sound like a funeral march. I didn't scream. I didn't throw the laptop. Instead, a cold, predatory calm settled over me. I became a ghost in my own home. I spent the next 6 hours in a forensic trance, going through every single photo in the 500-image gallery with a digital magnifying glass. I wasn't just looking for Sophie. I was looking for the roadmap of my own destruction. I found 3 more instances where Mark's arrogance had left a trail. In one candid shot of him laughing at the bar, the reflection in the crystal whiskey decanter showed him blowing a kiss to someone off camera, someone I realized now was my own younger sister's best friend, Sophie, who had dropped by to help with the kids during the shoot. The density of the betrayal was a physical weight on my chest. Sophie was 24. She had grown up in our house. I had paid for her textbooks when her parents were struggling. She had been eating my appetizers and drinking my vintage Bordeaux that very afternoon, all while my husband was literally planning to fly to Aspen with her. I navigated to our shared cloud account using a backdoor password I had memorized months ago, just in case. I found the business trip folder. It was a graveyard of lies. I found the flight receipts for December 23rd. First class. 2 tickets. Not for a deposition in Chicago, but for a 5-star ski-in, ski-out resort in Aspen. He had paid for it using the airline points we had been saving for 3 years to take our children to Disney World. He wasn't just cheating on me. He was stealing the magic of my children's childhood to fund a holiday tryst with a girl who used to call me Big Sis. I sat in the glow of the computer screen until 4 a.m., documenting every timestamp, every credit card swipe, and every digital shadow he left behind. I played the role of the doting wife for 48 agonizing hours. I let him kiss me goodnight. I watched him tuck the kids in and tell them stories about the North Pole, all while knowing he was planning to abandon them in less than 2 days. I even helped him pack for his trip, but I didn't pack his suits. I waited until he was at the office, then I took every single one of his luxury watches, his bespoke Italian shoes, and his framed legal certificates. I didn't burn them. I'm not a cliché. I put them into heavy-duty industrial trash bags and drove them to the local women's shelter, filming the donation for my records. On the evening of December 23rd, the house was full. My parents were there, his parents were there, and I had even invited Sophie under the guise of a last-minute holiday thank you. Mark was checking his watch every 5 minutes, his Uber to the airport already scheduled. I told everyone I had a special holiday slideshow of the professional photos to show before he had to work. I projected the gallery onto the 85-inch screen in the living room. The music was a slow, choral version of Silent Night. The photos cycled through, the kids, the dog, the fireplace. Then the screen froze on the 500% zoom of that silver bauble. I let the image hang there, glowing like a neon sign of his infidelity. The room went silent. You could hear the crackle of the fire and the sound of Mark's glass hitting the floor as it slipped from his numb fingers. I didn't say a word. I just picked up the remote and panned the zoom over to the text message on his phone reflection. Counting down the hours until you leave her. The silence was broken by my father. He is a retired colonel, a man who values honor above all else. He stood up slowly, his face a mask of iron, and asked, "Mark, who is Sophie, and why is she waiting for you in Aspen?" Mark tried to laugh it off, his voice cracking like dry wood. He claimed it was a work prank from the guys at the firm. Then he tried to say the photo was AI-generated or edited. But I had the photographer right there in the room. I had paid him a $2,000 discretion fee to be present with the original memory cards. Sophie tried to bolt for the door, but my brother, who had been clued in an hour before, was standing in her way. He didn't touch her. He just looked at her with such pure, concentrated disgust that she collapsed into the foyer, sobbing that Mark promised he was leaving me anyway. Mark's own mother stood up, her face trembling with shame, and delivered a slap that echoed through the vaulted ceilings. She called him a coward and a stain on their name. I walked over to the tree, pulled a manila envelope out from behind a gift box, and handed it to him. "Merry Christmas, Mark. The house is mine. The kids are mine. And your mistress is welcome to take you to the airport in her 2012 Honda, because your Porsche is currently being towed to a secondary location." I had also sent the high-resolution reflection proof to every senior partner at his law firm with a memo titled, "If he can't manage a secret on a Christmas card, how can he manage your client's secrets?" By the time the clock struck 8 p.m., he had lost his home, his family, and his career. It is now December 26th. The legacy Mark wanted to leave behind is a pile of ash. He is currently staying in a motel by the highway, his corporate accounts frozen by the firm pending an ethics review, and Sophie has disappeared into the night, likely realizing that a man with no money and no house isn't nearly as attractive as a senior partner. My children are okay. We told them Dad had to go away for a very long time for important business, and we spent the rest of Christmas morning opening presents in a house that finally felt clean. The silver baubles have been taken down. I smashed every single one of them in the driveway and watched the winter sun glint off the shards. I realized that the perfect marriage I thought I had was just a series of carefully posed snapshots, but the truth was found in the distorted reflection of a cheap ornament. I'm starting the new year with the best divorce attorney in the state and a heart that no longer has to beat for a liar. So, what do you think? Was I too calculated in my revenge? Or is a public exposure the only way to handle a man who betrays his family during the holidays? If you found a secret hidden in the background of your family photos, would you burn the house down metaphorically or try to save the peace of Christmas? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you think Mark got what he deserved, and make sure to subscribe for video 44, where a MIL is banned from Christmas over a gift card scandal. I'll see you in the next one.